What happens to us when we die? What's it like on the other side? These are questions that have been puzzling mankind for like an eternity. It was 2000 and I was preparing to embark on my path as a professional medium, but I didn't have the answers. And to be a professional medium, you kind of have to know about the other side. So I asked Grandma. It was in the year 2000 in the month of June, and I was really feeling my grandma a lot that night. I think it was her birthday, even, or it was right around her birthday. So I was hanging out in my small New York City apartment with my baby and my wife and my cat, and I got up to turn the air conditioner up, and right then a little white feather started to float down from the ceiling, from the upper right hand corner. Now, mind you, this was an apartment in the middle of Manhattan. There were no birds in the apartment. The windows were closed all day. There's no way that a feather got into my room. Trust me, I knew that was my grandma's way of getting my attention and manifesting that feather. So what I did was I went back to my bed and went into meditation because I really wanted to connect with her and to talk to her. And as soon as I got into that state of mind and I felt her, I asked, "So, Grandma, what's it like on the other side? I'm about to embark on this path of professional mediumship. People are going to ask me. I need to know what it's like on the other side." And as soon as I asked her, right then, boom, I was just transformed into this beautiful forest that was a brilliant emerald green, 10 times more colorful and vibrant than anything here on Earth. And I wasn't just seeing it, I was there, I was feeling it. It may have lasted for a second or two, and as soon as I came out of it, I said, "So, Grandma, it's like being in a beautiful forest then?" And she said to me, for you, it's like being in a beautiful forest. And that spoke volumes to me. I had my answer right then and there because people that know me know that I'm a beach person, but really the deep woods is the place that I feel most at home and most at peace. I'm a very avid hiker and backpacker, and that is truly my happiest place on earth. She said, or she went on to say, "Adam, imagine the time that you were the most joyful in your entire life, or the time that you were more in love with somebody than you've ever been, and then multiply that feeling by 10. That's what we get to experience every moment here in the spirit world. Death is nothing to fear, it's something to embrace. It's your reward for a job well done." My grandmother, Mary Meyer, and I had a very special bond growing up. So for her to be the one to come through and to give me this information was really, really special indeed. She went on to tell me that when we cross over, we realize that separation is an illusion and that we're all part of a unified field of consciousness and that we're all connected to all beings and all life and that God is real, that the angels are real. She even went so far as to tell me that unicorns and fairies are real, and many things born out of a child's imagination is real. Maybe not all the monsters under their beds, but it's all part of collective consciousness. She explained there's different levels of reality. We call them different planes or different dimensions. And young children and people that are very open can see onto the other dimensions. There is a reason also, as she was explaining, that young children that have no way of knowing because they couldn't have learned it talk about things like God and the angels before they're even 3 years old. It's because they're not separated as much as grown-ups from the other planes of existence and reality. She explained that there's really no hell, there's only heaven, but there's different levels of the other side, and depending on how well we live our life will dictate to how high of a level we'll go into the spirit world. So the people that do wrong or are negative people, they go to heaven or the spirit world also, but they don't go to the highest levels of joy and love. they need to learn more. They need to process more. Life is a spiritual growing experience, and when we go to the other side, the growth continues, and we prepare for our next lifetime as well. She explained that the life review is real, that when we cross over, we get to go over our whole lives and learn, examine, and grow from there. She also told me that when we cross over, we lose our egos and we see how we created our own reality. We understand that everything is energy and that every thought, every feeling, every belief, everything that's been programmed into us creates our reality here on earth, right down to the minutest detail, actually. And then on heaven or in the spirit world, it's a mental realm, and what we think manifests immediately, but in the physical world, because it's much more dense, it takes much more time. And the people that come under the illusion of separation, because they lose their connection with God or spirit, remain in the illusion that somehow their realities is independent from what they're putting out into the world. But indeed, that our realities is an exact mirror to what we put out there. And when we cross over, we gain a higher perspective when we realize that. She explained that time has a different meaning, and whether you were alive for 10 years or 100 years, when you get to the spirit world, it doesn't matter. It's quality, not quantity. And she explained that there's no pain, and that when we reach the other side, it's like we wake up from a dream, and as if any pain that we experienced before we crossed over, it's as if it never even happened. We get to meet up with our guides, and she told me that as soon as she crossed over, there were people that she remembered but somehow forgot in the living. It's like an awakening. Death is not a negative thing, it's a natural thing. And she tells me, or tells us, to lose the fear of dying, because when you lose the fear of dying, you lose the fear of living. The messages that I received from my grandma are likely to be very similar to messages that you receive if you connect with your loved ones and ask them similar questions. The advice that they have for us in the living is very simple. Number one, never be afraid of death. Death is nothing to fear. And when we lose the fear of dying, we lose the fear of living. So, to lose the fear of dying means that you can start to live your life with adventure, with meaning, with purpose, with no fear of taking appropriate risks, and no fear of the ultimate ending, because it's been proven so many times in so many different ways. And those of us that do mediumship do it to validate the continuity of life, to empower us to lose the fear of dying so we may lose the fear of living. Another message is to never ever blame others, and to understand that we create our own reality. And certainly other people will show up in places in our lives to give us a hard time. Another message is each lifetime is a spiritual process, to embrace spirit, to follow a spiritual path. Your job in this lifetime is to heal. Your job is to heal from 3,000 plus years of patriarchal rule and all the past lives and all the suffering from other lifetimes, from our ancestry, and from the world around us. We're in a great awakening now, and we are all here in this lifetime for a divine purpose. So Grandma tells me that I am here to heal, and I've done a heck of a lot of healing in this lifetime, I must tell you. Another message is that challenge is your greatest gift. We learn more through challenge than anything in life. Embrace challenge, and as you overcome challenge, you grow and you learn. Overcoming your fears clears you from programming. We're all programmed. So if you can overcome your fears, you can overcome your programs. And the final message of all is that the way that you live is the way that you die. And the way you die is a reflection of the way that you live. So live well, my friends, live well. And if you enjoy this content, check out another video called The 11 Signs That a Spirit Loved One is Trying to Get Your Attention. And if you like this content, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to this channel. The best is still yet to come. And if you hit that little bell icon, you'll receive notifications for when I do my free live mediumship events, as well as when I release new videos. And live with empowerment, live in freedom. And I will see you at the next video.